Hey there. So, just a little recap for those that haven't seen me before. My name is Olivia. I'm a certified clinical exercise physiologist. And I'm just on this channel posting exercises for various ranges of ages, population, fitness level, things like that. So today I want to go over some seated exercises that don't require any equipment. So this would be really good for someone who is pretty deconditioned, doesn't have access to equipment or a gym. There are always ways to make exercises harder, but this is a really good starting point for those that don't have any exercise background or just don't really know where to start. As always, when you're exercising, no matter where you're exercising, there's always a risk of injury. You should always consult your doctor before starting a new exercise or new exercise program, just to make sure that you're cleared with everything. There's always going to be an inherent risk of injury, so exercise at your own risk. There's always going to be a risk of fall. So, just a little disclaimer in there so that you're exercising at your own risk if you're following this video. And I hope you guys enjoy and find this useful. As always, if you know someone that can benefit from these exercises, please like, subscribe, or send this video on to them. My main goal here is to just help people get more active. All right, so the first thing I want to go over, you can do this on any seated piece of equipment or a chair. If you want to get more core involved, you can use a stability ball, something that looks like this. It's a little bit more uneven, so you have to engage your core a little bit more. But for this purpose, I'll be using a bench. We're going to start with just a basic sit to stand. So feet shoulder width apart. You don't want your knees to come in, knees stay out. And you're just gonna lower yourself down. The main thing here is that it's controlled when you come down. So a lot of times if we have weakness in our lower legs, we just kind of plop down or we rock back when we sit down. So that might be a sign of either a weaker leg muscles or weaker core. So we want to make sure that we're staying nice and controlled on our way down. Knees stay out, your chest stays up, and we're just nice and controlled on the way down. The ultimate goal would be to not need to push off our legs when we're coming back up. But if that's where you're starting, that's completely fine too. If you need to push off your legs, you can. You can cross your arms, hold your arms up. But our goal here is to get up without pushing off the legs. We want to ensure good leg strength there. So a good rule of thumb is start with one set, 8 to 10 repetitions of this. Depending on where you're at, you can add more repetitions or you can add more sets. So you can go up to 3 sets of 10 reps. If you get up to 3 sets of 10 reps and it still feels pretty easy, that would be a really good indication that it's time to add some weight to these exercises. Another way that you can modify this to become a little bit more challenging is to go slower on the way down. So you can really lower yourself nice and slow. And that's going to put more pressure on these muscles to work a little bit harder and a little bit longer before you relax those muscles. Another thing you can do if you feel like you're not ready for a full squat is to just lower yourself over the chair as low as you feel comfortable going, and then come back up without actually touching down on the chair or the stability ball, whatever you're using. So if you were using a ball, keep in mind it's going to be a little more unstable. So please do this at your own risk, knowing that there is a little bit more instability with a ball here, and you're going to need to use a little bit more core strength. If you're just transitioning to a stability ball, you can be close to a wall or something stable that you can grab onto if needed. Same thing, feet shoulder width apart. You're coming up and you're going down. I recommend making sure that you have something behind you so that ball doesn't roll away when you sit back down. All right, that is a sit to stand exercise. You can modify it in a lot of different ways. You can add dumbbells to make it harder. But we're just keeping it nice and simple for this first one. So it would be helpful for those that are just starting exercise and aren't quite sure where to start or might be quite deconditioned. So I hope you guys find this helpful. Please like, comment, suggestions, and subscribe if you're finding these helpful.